All right, and we are back with our next run. I'm really excited about this next one. So we have Super C by ThePhantomire. Wait, no, he hasn't moved to silver yet. All right, and we are back with our next run of the night. We have the Phantomire doing Super C glitchless. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and shove it on over to you, and good luck, have fun.
Thank you so much for the good luck. I know I'll need it. So we're going to be doing Super C to start off this little run and gun block to close out the night. It'll be followed by Contra Hardcore and Blazing Chrome, so be sure to stick around for that. But without further ado, we will just jump right into this run. So it's going to wind up, the timer will start once I jump off the rope, once I press the one player in there. So let's start going. Okay, so time will start in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so as was introduced, this is Super C glitchless. So there are going to be a few things that are going to look a little bit different if you're familiar with the run. You're not going to be seeing the Angry Lynx level of strats, and you're also not going to wind up seeing things with flame. I actually run the game with spread when I'm doing glitchless. I find this is like more of the, like, if you're trying to get into this game and kind of get your toes wet and get used to what it offers, spread is a really good accessible way to be able to go about things, so it's definitely a really fun way to do the run. So one of the things that you'll probably notice is that I'm hopping up those ledges, up the ramps, and the reason for that is actually it speeds things up. You walk pretty slowly going up ledges, so if we can just avoid walking up slopes, it's all the better. Kind of advances the screen a little bit more. The disadvantage of the spread route, while a little bit more accessible, is the wrist gets a little bit tired because we are going to be mashing a whole lot. It gets a little bit easier once we get the rapid fire, so for those who have always been confused about what does the R do when you pick it up, well, that's for rapid fire. So it stacks after you get a weapon, it doesn't matter if you've gotten it before, so we're going to be getting that in stage 3. It's going to speed a few things up, so there we go, stage 1 right out of the way. No big deal, easy peasy. Okay, and now this is sort of like some of the other Contra games. We have a split between the level types, and this one has the overhead. I know personally this is where it is that I think that Super C is the superior game over Contra, because I don't like the running into levels. I like these overhead levels a lot more. I find they flow really well. They're just a lot of fun. So there's gonna be little clench there. Ooh, they are not being friendly right now. Okay, thank you. Thank you for all being very, very rude right now. So we're going to be doing a little bit of screen clearing here with that, just to be able to kind of get on the right track here, and then now I can just kind of hover down the middle and things aren't really scary. I want to make sure that this is one of the few times that I mash not too quickly, because if you do, the spread can sometimes actually go to 3 shots instead of 5 shots spread out, and it will not hit those side enemies, which is really, really dangerous. So we just walk behind them and then just spam away. Easy peasy. I remember taking forever as a kid being able to stand there in front and do the side to side and shimmy about, and now instead we just hammer down from behind. No big deal. So coming up is where we're going to get our rapid shot, which is going to speed things up quite a bit on some of the bosses. Without it, it's not too bad, but anything where we can reduce mashing and just speed up, like just increase the strength of our shots here in terms of the power of things. Sometimes we get glitches like that. That little platform is supposed to come up. That's why you saw me ever so cautiously trying to get that, lure that thing out, but it just was not coming up. And see, that's the power of the rapid shot right there. It made things a lot easier. You don't have to mash nearly as hard, it's not nearly as tight in terms of the timing. So we're going to see any time... So I was about to say, anytime we're in a moment of panic and going to lose our spread shot, we'll duck in the water. And apparently, we did not listen to our own advice we were about to give us, so instead we're going to do a little bit of low percent tech here. No big deal. We will get a spread and a rapid shot done in the... just in a little bit here. This spider can give us trouble. It can do little short patterns before it walks, and it can also do long patterns. And it will kind of go based on proximity as to where it is that you are with respect to it. And normally we want to be able to kill that thing on the other side, because we would want to be able to advance the screen without actually dealing with any of these platforms. However, we want a weapon. So, I'm going to do things slightly differently than we would normally do there. No big deal. Just have to do a little bit of a memory game as to where some of these things fall down, because normally you'd just be right at the very, very front of the screen, and not having to worry about any of that stuff because you're just walking off the screen. And everything is happening right behind you. So if I had the rapid shot, that thing wouldn't have had the little balls turn around. So instead we wind up having that happen. So we're going to take a bit of a safety here. Rather than trying to go under these little bubbles, which are an absolute nightmare, we're just going to hammer down on all of these. Because it is very easy to die on these things. Because they have all sorts of different spawn patterns, and if we just don't have to deal with them, all the better. Oh no, that's okay, we're gonna get another spread coming up soon. Again, just involves a little bit more mashing on the low percent side, no big deal. So now the elevator is going to be coming up, and that's where we're going to want to get our spread shot from the drops that'll be coming up. Unfortunately, that rapid fire does not apply to its machine gun. Go, and just up the elevator just a little bit more, we're going to be getting our spread shot back, which is going to make our lives a lot better. The game becomes a lot less scary, especially on this upcoming part. Because there are going to be these little bubbles coming up that are kind of everywhere and are just a total pain. And if you were playing the any percent category, there would actually have wound up being an elevator glitch here, where you would have actually died and done this weird screen advance where you wind up just kind of shooting up and skipping a lot of this elevator, which is a really cool glitch. However, again, we are doing ourselves a glitchless run, so we won't be seeing that. And then also, if you're familiar with the run, we will not be seeing the little death jumps where you wind up jumping into one of the pits and deboosting backwards and going through some ceilings and doing some pause glitching. None of that funky tech right now. We're just going to be hammering down sort of old school style like you would if, you know, sort of if you were running this casually back in the day, because everybody loves spread shot. So that's still a pretty good kill. One of the things that we don't want to happen is if you wind up killing that at a certain distance, when it winds up going off to the right there, it will take forever to explode because it kind of partially explodes off screen. So this is actually my favorite level. A large part of it has to just do with the music. And then I also like the flow of the level. It kind of reminds me of like a cooler version of the waterfall in Contra. So there we go. Now we got a rapid shot and our spread back. Not too bad a climb, but I took that one D-boost there just to be able to climb the platform just a little bit faster. Theoretically, we shouldn't be needing all of our lives, so it's not too bad to have it for forfeit. I'm going to do a little bit safer on this next part here, because we have an alternating thing where enemies will come out of these back platforms, and then we will also have those coming out of the ground. So we're going to have enemies again, and then those will come out of the... We'll have another turret. This one's a lot closer.
Do you have time for a real quick donation?
Yes, I do.
Alright, thank you so much to the Megamar for that $10 donation saying, time for the Phantom block. Good luck to Phantom and the rest of the speedrunners for the day. Thank you so much, Megamar, for that awesome donation.
And yeah, thank you so much, Megamar. One of the streamers that him and I have followed similar growth. We started at the same time. We've done co-op streaming and everything like that, so it's wonderful to be able to hear that name in support here. So this is the scariest level in the game because you never know what those little mouths are going to do, and then you're also not going to know what the spiders are going to do in this next part. So we're just going to have to hope for the best. There are different techniques. Oh, that's exactly what I didn't want. There are different techniques to get through this where it's a little less scary, and we kind of recovered here, so that's not too bad. But those spiders are here to ruin your day. Luckily, we didn't die, which is, you know, going back to low percent is never fun. Hurts the wrists, and it just makes things scarier. So still we'll have this. Way quicker, way nicer, easy peasy. Especially with this part here, because now we don't have to worry about getting hit by any of the shots. We can just stand off to the side and abuse the fact that this thing can not hurt us if we just simply shoot fast enough. Boom! There we go. Yeah, thankfully we didn't have too much trolling with the floor mouths and the spiders, because things can just go real wrong in that stage. When I was learning this game, mostly for a no death run, and then I kind of applied it to a speed run, that was the stage that was always the gatekeeper, because I would just be walking along and trying to outmash RNG, and sometimes just luck was not in your favor. So I hope you like these purple blobs, because you're going to be seeing them for a little while as we decline here. And last one. And we're gonna make sure that we delay shooting, because one of the things that can wind up happening is it's very easy to hit the capsule that is coming up at that point in time and get the laser. And for anybody who's played this game, you know the laser is the absolute worst weapon on the planet. I don't know why it exists. So thankfully we avoided that. Because I would have actually preferred to take a death at that point in time and just go back to my low percent weapon. The pea shooter is much better than the laser. So now we're going to do some safeties. Even though the enemy isn't spawned and activated yet, we're able to take it out before we get it on the screen. And now for the scariest one. There we go. Not too bad. There we go. Now the this is just going to be a whole lot of jumping and mashing and hoping for the best. And hoping that we don't get hit by any of those yellow things. Not too bad. There we go. And now we are on to the final stage. Time for the real scary stuff to happen. Because there are going to be aliens everywhere. There's going to be all sorts of random stuff that can just take care of us really quickly. Some really scary jumps. Whoa! And especially if we decide to just walk off the ledge for no particular reason. Hope you like the pea shooter because it's back. That's okay. We were going to wind up just likely taking this flame weapon anyway, so this isn't too big a deal. And then just get through that. So this is definitely a really scary part, especially depending on what sort of weapon you have and depending on where these aliens decide that they want to show up. Like that, sometimes they just decide that they really want to come in for a hug. You always hope that they're running into the pits. We're going to take it a little bit safer here. Oh, I lied. We're not going to be taking it safer, apparently. Okay, so this run just got a lot scarier. And we are going to be fine. No, I just walked off a cliff again. That's fine. We'll just make it a very clutch finish here. No big deal, I planned this all along. Luckily, this boss isn't too bad. There's this strange thing with older Konami games where they decided that for whatever reason they would make last bosses generally easier. Like you'd notice that in something like Gradius. This is no exception to that. So instead we just sort of stand here and just shoot forward. And there we go. I just PB'd with that dreadful run. That's hilarious.
GG on that PB.
Didn't expect that, that's for sure.
I mean, it's that marathon luck. This
Yeah.
happened the last time you played one of these
Yeah.
with me hosting for you, so...
Yeah, it seems like you're the lucky charm here.
I think it's like a combination of it all.
Yeah. The marathon, the luck, you know, just all the things happen to work out.
Oh, yeah.
Only 5 seconds, but we'll take it.
Hey, a PB is a PB.
Never do it by too much.
Alright. Did you want